A few months ago, some people suggested that civil war might break out in the Conservative Party over the Brexit vote. Perhaps the Tories would even split, as they did 170 years ago, over the Corn Laws. And yet at this year's Conservative Party conference, signs of actual hostility are pretty hard to see. First, some of those who have fallen from grace under Theresa May, think of David Cameron, Michael Gove, George Osborne and others, have decided not to show up at this conference. And second, many pro-Remain MPs and members have decided that the time to make their case about EU membership is over. They're not going against the party leadership. And so at this conference you can go to plenty of fringe events about Brexit, but they're not actual debates about whether Britain should stay in the EU, or not even debates about hard and soft Brexit. As one pro-Remain person said to me, "What are you going to debate about? The public have spoken." So where does this leave Theresa May? Well, it looks like the Prime Minister's done a pretty good job of securing her position. One of her ideas is a great repeal bill, which would end the influence of EU judges over British law. That is constitutionally pretty unsurprising if Britain is going to leave the EU. And yet it's gone down very well. It comes across as symbolically very important. Another idea of Theresa May's is to derogate from the European Convention of Human Rights, which is separate to the EU, in future armed conflicts. That may not stop many of the claims against British soldiers, and yet it's gone down very well with some right-wing newspapers. Where could Miss May run into problems? A few people are speaking out. Former ministers Nicky Morgan and Anna Soubry, both of whom were sacked by Theresa May, have made clear their differences of opinion with the party leadership. And yet they look a little isolated amongst the Conservative Party, and they may also be misjudging the mood of members who seem to have accepted that Brexit must mean Brexit. The great Tory civil war is therefore off the agenda. For it to come back into view, I think we need to see a serious change in fortunes for the Prime Minister, Theresa May.
This week, it became increasingly clear that Britain is going for a clean break with the EU, while a notable Frenchman offered an olive branch.